Hey YouTube, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on a very recent missing persons case, the disappearance of Jillian Kelly and Veronica Butler. This case is now starting to get national attention, as two women went missing along a secluded stretch of road in Oklahoma's Panhandle. Investigators are being very tight with the details, but rumors are starting to fly around. I just wanted to lay out what little has been confirmed about this investigation and go through the rumors while I offer my own insights and opinions on the case. For those who don't know me, my name is Blue, and I'm a police officer in Florida with 10 years of experience. We do all things true crime on this channel, so if that's your thing, go ahead and consider subscribing. I post at least once a week. And as a reminder, these are just my opinions, based on my own experience in the field, and not the opinions of any department or organization. With all that said, let's get into today's case. So this all began when Veronica Butler traveled with her friend Jillian Kelly to see her children. Jillian and Veronica left Hugoton, Kansas on Saturday, March 30th, sometime in the morning. Their vehicle would ultimately be found in Texas County, Oklahoma, just over the state line. Those familiar with the area talk about how isolated it is, often with long stretches of wilderness, with no one around. Their vehicle was found abandoned on the side of the road, but there are conflicting reports about the vehicle's condition, which we'll get into shortly. Now, the Texas County Sheriff's Office would respond, and after determining the disappearance was suspicious, they made the decision to contact the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation for assistance. If I had to guess, this was likely because the Sheriff's Office decided they did not have the resources in order to investigate it. This is a great thing actually, as instead of pretending that they had the situation under control and refusing to accept help from the outside, they proactively knew their limits and asked for additional resources. Now, let's try to get a bit more detailed. From what I've gathered online, Veronica is only allowed supervised visitation. There is a court case that I'll show briefly on the screen here, dating back all the way to February of 2019. The father, Wrangler Cole Rickman, filed in court for custody of their children, a battle that appears to still be ongoing. Whatever happened in the course of this battle, the decision was apparently made to keep the children in the custody of Rickman's parents. On the 18th and 20th of March this year, Veronica filed motions to increase her visitation with her minor children. I think we can assume this was allowed by the courts, as just a week or so later, Veronica went with her friend Jillian, who was a pastor's wife, to conduct a supervised visit. Now, the father Rickman was supposedly in jail for a charge of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, as shown here. I'm going to put some paperwork up on the screen. This is dated March 25th of this year, and it was a petition for Rickman to be released from jail on a personal recognizance bond, which means that instead of posting a cash bond, court allows you to walk out of jail for free, with the promise that you return on your court date. In this case, Rickman agreed to turn himself in to the Salvation Army's Inpatient Treatment Center for treatment, before returning to the court. Now, there are many reports and allegations that Rickman is involved in both women's disappearance due to his criminal record and the lengthy ongoing child custody case. This may or may not be true, but I do think it's likely. However, we cannot drag someone's name through the mud who has not even been mentioned by investigators at this time. Anything I do say about his involvement will simply be me playing devil's advocate, which we'll do in a little bit. Now on to the car. The car that Veronica and Jillian were traveling in was a blue Kia, which was found abandoned on the side of Oklahoma State Road 95. Now, police have not released anything about the condition of the car or anything unusual noticed, at least not in any official sources that I've read. That being said, there have been a lot of people online claiming that at least one window was smashed, and there was blood in the car, as well as a bloody hammer left on scene. I cannot verify this as this information has not been released, so we'll just have to continue thinking it's a rumor for now. But what could have happened? What did investigators see on scene that led them to very reasonably believe these women are in danger? Well, let's take a look at a couple of things that investigators will consider when evaluating if someone is endangered or not as a missing person. So 1, both women are apparently healthy and happy, with no indications of running away or other mental health issues such as depression or having a suicidal ideation. 2, the car was found in a very secluded place, not hidden well in a wooded area or pushed into a canal, but just left in a secluded place on the side of the road. There may or may not have been damage or blood on scene. 3, Veronica was on the way to see her children. She is in the middle of a 5-year-long custody dispute with her ex. Veronica's ex is a convicted felon who, days before the woman's disappearance, was released on a personal recognizance bond. It is unknown at this time if he is in a rehab facility or not, or if he was during the time frame the woman went missing. Again, we just don't have that information. 5, neither woman ever made it to the child visitation. Remember, this is a visitation that Veronica appeared to have been fighting for a long time in court. There would have to be a pretty good reason she did not show up for this. And 6, neither woman has been seen or heard from since. That's very telling and worrying for both families. As you can see, the totality of the circumstances here we've listed above, even without blood or damage to the car, as is rumored, is enough that these women met the criteria to be considered as missing endangered persons. That designation allows for more resources to be used and more agencies to assist in the search. Now, multiple agencies are involved, but think of how much ground there is to cover. These women could have been missing for hours before they were reported, and their car alone was found 45 miles away from their house, and I'm not sure how many miles away from the house with the children. I would imagine that police are waiting for any and all cell phone records, hoping to get a better idea and timeline with pings taken from nearby cell towers. So what's reasonable? What could have happened? Assume for a minute that the car was found with no blood or broken windows. One theory that people have put forth is the car simply broke down or ran out of gas. This is possible, but there's too many loose ends, in my opinion, for this to be true. Firstly, police have not said the car broke down or ran out of gas. Also, why wouldn't the woman have called for help? And if the rumors of broken windows and a bloody hammer are true, then this theory is ruled out completely. So the question then becomes, was foul play involved? Based on what investigators have said, it seems that they definitely believe this to be the case. As we've said above, the theories about Veronica's ex are running rampant, but that's all going to depend on his alibi. For all we know, Rickman is in a rehab facility of some type even now. But if he was not on this day, he would be one of the first people I would want to talk to as an investigator. It would seem that these women were intercepted at some point along their drive, and I think most of us believe, as do the police, that they were taken against their will, by force. Another theory I've noticed, as a theme on several of my videos, is one that claims the women were walking, maybe because their car broke down, but for whatever reason, they were struck by a drunk driver, and either left behind or hidden somewhere. This was offered as a theory in my videos on Riley Strain, Sebastian Rogers, and Caleb Harris. I can tell you from experience that this does happen, as I've handled numerous calls myself of hit-and-run fatalities. But I would say this is maybe the more unlikely theory. However, I can't rule it out. Again, we're just missing a lot of information from the police at this time. One big piece of evidence we should all be waiting for to be released is the phone pings, as well as the condition of the car and whether or not a bloody weapon was really left in it. Until then, we're all just waiting. But what do you guys think happened? Let me know your theories in the comments and we'll have a discussion. I'll try to follow this case and keep you guys updated, but for now, let's join the families in prayer, as we hope that both Jillian and Veronica are found safe. I have another true crime video coming for you guys this Wednesday at 2 p.m, so keep an eye out for that. And if you're new here, consider subscribing to support the channel. And as always guys, stay safe and stay tuned.